him to kill me. Please send someone now, please.
Rich in history and culture, Albuquerque, New Mexico is a scenic southwestern urban oasis.
Albuquerque, it's a high desert climate. We have over 320 days of sunshine a year. And the mountains and the city views and the scenic views, hiking and things like that. It's a great destination and it's a great place to live.
And for 27-year-old native Peggy Klinke, Albuquerque is the perfect place to parlay her passion for health and wellness into a new career.
Peggy was a health freak. She would work out every day. Health was really important to her. She decided she wanted to be a doctor, and so she started taking the pre-med classes she needed to get into medical school.
And at school, Peggy catches the eye of another fellow student, 34-year-old Patrick Kennedy.
Don't worry about it.
Hi. Peggy, right? I'm Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick, I know, we're in the same study group.
Oh, right, of course, that's dumb. I'm not good at this. Just a engineering geek trying to keep up with these kids.
It makes two of us. Well, at least the keeping up part.
She was an older student, and Patrick was older too. They were taking a lot of the same science and math classes that she needed for her pre-med major, and then he was taking the same courses for engineering.
You know, I'm gonna grab a bite to eat if you want to join me.
Yeah,
Good.
I'd like that.
Good. Because I think they're about to kick us out of here.
Peggy and Patrick begin to get to know each other outside of class.
The hash green chilies here are great.
I'm an Ohio girl. We're pretty simple.
I've never been to Ohio, but I don't think you're simple. I think you're fantastic.
People had always told her she was beautiful, and I think for the longest time she thought that's all she was. That was her insecurity, is that people only valued her for her looks and they never thought she was smart enough or good enough.
I will have the tostada with the corn shell, cheese and dressing on the side, and no meat, please.
And I'll have the hash green chili and 2 glasses of white wine, please. Okay. There you go. Vegetarian.
I promise I'm still fun.
Well, you're just full of surprises, aren't you, Miss Klinke? I like that. 2 new friendships.
New friendships. So, what made you go back to school?
New start. Figured I could make more of myself as an electrical engineer than a landscaper. And once the divorce went through, I figured what better time for a fresh start.
I didn't mean to pry.
You're not prying. I don't mind. My ex-wife is a little crazy, but I still got to see my daughter out of the deal, so it's worth it.
Your daughter?
Yeah. She's 7, going on 30. She's the only woman in my life who I know can't leave me.
I have 3 nieces. I adore them. Seriously, though, I can imagine divorce must be hard on everyone.
It's for the best. Yeah, I'm just glad that it didn't scare you off.
And why would it?
Oh, it was baggage. To tell you the truth, I've always imagined myself growing old, surrounded by tons of kids and grandkids.
That makes 2 of us.
Patrick was a very bright man. And so I think the attraction for her was that here was, this really intelligent guy who was attracted to her.
When she isn't studying, Peggy supports herself by teaching yoga classes at a local studio. But as she arrives before sunrise to prepare for class, It appears Peggy's not alone.
She taught yoga classes at 6 in the morning. She was like, well, do you want to go to a yoga class with me? But I'm like, yeah, I don't see myself ever getting up at 5 in the morning to go to a yoga class.
Hello? James, you scared me.
Oh, the door was open, so I let myself in.
You didn't want the light?
I like to meditate in the dark before class. It clears my mind.
Is that your car out front?
Yeah.
Over the next several weeks, as Peggy and Patrick spend more and more time together, a full-blown romance blossoms.
It's me.
Come on in. Sorry, I'm running a little behind on dinner.
Need help with anything?
Could you grab the wine in the fridge?
What's in Ohio?
Oh, my mom's place for Christmas.
Oh, I was hoping we'd do something, just the two of us.
It's just for 5 days. We could do something special when I get back, just the two of us. I would love that.
Peggy loved her family and loved being with her family. I think it was difficult for her being so far away from her family. So for Christmas, she came back to Ohio to my mom's house.
But Peggy and her family have no idea a surprise is headed their way.
Honey, could you run into the kitchen and grab the big red bowl for me, please? Thank you.
Hey, I got the napkins. Okay. Here you go. Hey, Debbie, your beans are way too long. You should be getting 3 pieces per bean at least. See? Perfect. Oh, you got it. Look at that.
A few days before New Year's Eve, the doorbell rings at my mom's house,
It's Patrick.
and Patrick Kennedy's standing on my mother's front porch.
Did you invite him?
I didn't even tell her where Mom lives.
Who just shows up like that?
The only thing that I knew about this guy was that Peggy had gone on a few dates with him.
Oh my God, Patrick, what are you doing here?
I just couldn't bear the thought of us being apart. Even if it is for only 5 days.
You shouldn't have, really.
Hey, anything for my girl. Besides, I wouldn't want to miss a chance to meet your family. You're always talking about everyone. And...
Of course, come in. Patrick, this is my sister, Deb. Patrick.
Hello, Debbie.
Hi. It's nice to meet you.
I am so sorry. Can I use the restroom?
Sure. Right down the hall. What? How does he know where we live?
I was shocked that he was here to spend the holidays with us. And I looked at Peggy, and she did not look happy about the situation. I think she was just as shocked as the rest of the family was that he was present.
I'm so sorry to spring myself on you guys. I know it seems a little crazy, but I also know how important family is to Peggy, and I figured a little holiday surprise would be nice, right?
Come on in. We're just making dinner, so.
Prepared. Unfortunately, yes.
We had no plans that this person was going to be spending the New Year's with us. My mom's a very welcoming, the more the merrier type person. I don't think she was prepared for this. None of us were prepared, so it was a very uneasy feeling.
Despite his sudden guest appearance, Peggy and her family do their best to make Patrick feel at home.
Patrick? Patrick? Where are you? Scared me.
I'm sorry. You're so cute when you're mad. Stay here with me.
My family's super old-fashioned.
You're almost 30.
Yeah, well,
house rules. That'll never change.
Nobody has to know. Come on, what are they gonna think when we tell them we're moving in together?
You want to move in with me?
Isn't it obvious? I can't live without you. The sooner we just get on with it, the better, right?
Yes. Well, sleep well.
Okay. I love you, Becky.
He was there about 4 or 5 days. It was awkward the whole time he was there. And I felt like he was trying so hard to get us to like him, and it wasn't happening.
After they return to Albuquerque, Peggy and Patrick move in together. And that's when Peggy discovers Patrick is hiding something from her. When 28-year-old Peggy Klinke moves in with her boyfriend Patrick Kennedy, she uncovers a dark new detail about his life.
Patrick had guns. I know she didn't like it.
Cold feet?
I didn't know you had a gun.
Oh, that. Yeah. Yeah, it's my grandfather's. I keep it around mostly for sentimental reasons. Don't worry. It's not loaded.
Just having it around makes me uncomfortable. I don't like guns, Patrick.
I'll keep it in a safe.
But for Peggy and Patrick, there's even more conflict ahead.
Namaste. Thank you, everyone. See you on Thursday. It is so good to see you. I missed you. And you're feeling better? Good. Okay. Take care of yourself.
Hey, so I was wondering if maybe you could help me with a few poses. I work in construction, my back's always like really tight, and this class is the only thing that helps.
Well, I am supposed to grab breakfast with my boyfriend a little bit, but I can show you some pointers.
Boyfriend, right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought you were single. Of course.
We were talking about some poses, James.
Right, yeah.
I don't think she recognized, like, how attractive she was. Guys would hit on her all the time. So I think she was really uncomfortable with that.
Well, let's start with an easy twist.
Okay.
Great.
So, like,
Great, yeah, perfect. Okay, great. Okay.
I'm sorry.
And this is an isometric exercise that will help with your core.
Okay.
And we are working on your core, James, not your eyes.
I can't help it.
Hey, Peggy.
Patrick, you're early.
I didn't know you had office hours.
This is one of my students, James. He's in construction. Patrick James.
Her boyfriend.
That's a firm grip you got there.
A man should have a firm handshake, don't you think?
Okay, that's enough for today. We'll pick it up on Thursday. Hi.
Sure thing, Peggy.
Bye, James. Is this what you're doing when I'm not here?
What's wrong, Patrick?
I want you to stop teaching yoga.
What? What are you talking about?
That guy, your students, I see how they look at you. And now they are hitting on you right in front of me.
Hey, I love you, and nobody can change that. Let's go, Patrick.
You sure I'm invited? I'm not one of your students.
I think when she moved in with Patrick, I think he started to isolate her, so she didn't really spend any time with any other students. His behavior towards her was becoming more and more controlling. It was clearly behavior to show that she belonged to him.
And with Patrick, it seems no matter what Peggy does, she can't win.
Hey, you're up early.
Are you seriously going out like that?
I always dress like this when I teach.
You look like a slut.
You're unbelievable, you know that?
Me? I thought we decided no more yoga, and here you are dressed and ready for one more round with James in construction.
Are you listening to yourself right now? Teaching yoga has nothing to do with James. You know how important it is to me.
Could have fooled me.
Stop it, Patrick.
Patrick showed frequent signs of jealousy, and it wasn't even with Peggy looking at another man or talking about another man. It was everything. Anytime attention was not given to him, he was jealous. He didn't like it. It didn't take much to push Patrick over the edge.
As Patrick's verbal abuse intensifies, Peggy starts to reevaluate their relationship.
Hey. Oh, thank God you're okay.
I'm in the library. Why wouldn't I be okay?
Patrick called me. Apparently he's been calling around and asking about where you are.
You've got to be kidding me. We got in a fight. He called me a slut and I stormed out.
Peggy, that is not okay.
Peggy and I had frequent conversations about her relationship with Patrick. He would call her a slut, put her down, no one's gonna hire someone as stupid as you. There was tons of verbal abuse. If you imagine a bright flame slowly burning out and being snuffed away, that's sort of what I saw happening to Peggy during this relationship.
Has he ever been violent with you?
Not once, Deb, I promise. He's just jealous. He walked in on me teaching a student some poses and he's blowing it out of proportion.
Okay, but listen, this level of jealousy, it's not gonna lead to anything healthy in my opinion.
I should just leave and not say anything.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what it takes, Peggy.
I just want you to be happy and safe.
There was a wedding in Ohio that Peggy was coming home from. Her best friend was getting married. Patrick was not invited, but he found out that Peggy was going to go back home, so he canceled her flight, and he made flight arrangements for himself and for her. Everywhere that Peggy went, he had to be with her. So that to me was really, really concerning. But I think the deeper Peggy got into the relationship, the harder it was for her to get out.
After years of enduring Patrick's controlling and cruel behavior, Peggy decides it's time to make a big move.
This was 3-4 years in the making. Peggy decided, I don't care what the punishment is, I don't care what the repercussions are, I'm done, I've had it.
I remember she called me and she was crying and we had a spare bedroom and I said, just come stay with us. She's like, I think I'm just gonna take like whatever clothes I can throw in my car right now. I'm not even gonna worry about anything else. Right now, I just need to get out.
Thank you so much.
Peggy called me and told me I finally moved out, which was great for about 4 seconds. Patrick was severely angry, and we had no idea what we were dealing with.
After Peggy Klinke leaves her domineering ex-boyfriend Patrick Kennedy, she's ready to move on with her life.
Sorry, I'm late. You just keep warming up. We'll get started shortly.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, fine.
Let me guess, you and your boyfriend broke up. And you're wondering if you're ever gonna find anyone.
Been spying on me?
It's all over your face, but I can help you take your mind off that.
I'm flattered, James, but it's a bad idea to mix students in my personal life.
I mean, I could always quit yoga, and then, I'm not technically a student anymore.
We're gonna get started. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. See you on Thursday.
Hey, sorry I was late.
I was too, don't worry.
It was a great class.
Great.
I'd never done yoga before, but I can't believe I waited this long. I'm Mark.
Peggy.
Nice to meet you, Peggy.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, I was wondering if maybe you could help me with some of those poses we talked about earlier?
I can't today, James. I'm in a hurry. Gotta go.
Hey, I'll see you next week.
But as Peggy tries to move forward, Patrick's behavior turns ugly.
So when Peggy left, Patrick didn't know where she was living, but he did have contact with her via cell phone. That's what he started with. Calling her, texting her, 50 times a day, 150 times a day, sometimes from his cell phone, sometimes from payphones.
You need to stop calling me.
I'm sorry, Peggy, I was wrong. I just want to talk.
There's nothing to talk about, Patrick.
What do you want me to do? I am calling you to fix this.
It's too late. 17 times today. Oh, gosh.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I saw you sitting here, and I just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Yes, I'm fine. Sorry.
No apology needed. It's okay. I wanted to, just in case you ever wanted to hang out or something.
Your number?
Yeah. Hey, I had a great class today.
Good.
I'll see you around.
Okay, bye. Thanks.
Eager to distance herself from Patrick, Peggy decides to meet with Mark outside of class.
So, how is it you're not married already?
I'm lucky.
I'm serious.
She was excited about meeting Mark. Peggy talked about him way more than she ever talked about Patrick.
I mean, I've dated. I just haven't met the one yet.
I'm surprised I didn't have to wait in line. Lane, you're smart, you're sexy, you're funny, and you're gonna be a doctor.
I mean, at this point, I'll be 45 by the time I actually start practicing medicine.
You know, you can do a lot in the medical field without actually going to medical school. I work in pharmaceutical sales. I make a pretty good living. The hours are flexible and still get to help people. If you'd like, I can make some calls, maybe at least get you an interview.
You hardly know me.
I know enough.
Mark was so good to Peggy. I just loved seeing her with someone who actually treated her really well, like somebody who clearly cared about her. You could just see the back and forth with the two of them. This is who she should have been with all along, somebody who recognized how wonderful and how great she is.
But as Peggy's relationship with Mark takes off, she can't seem to shake her old unwanted baggage.
Patrick began stalking Peggy. He started following her because he knew where her gym was, the yoga studio, her hair salon, nail salon.
Hi, Peggy.
What are you doing here? We're done, Patrick. I want you to leave me alone.
Don't say that, okay? We're meant to be together.
And he wasn't going to back off. He had a mission. And I think she truly was in fear of her life at that moment.
Whatever you're thinking about doing right now, you don't have to.
What would I do?
Months after their breakup, Peggy Klinke's ex-boyfriend Patrick Kennedy ambushes her out of nowhere.
He jumped out to surprise her and opened up a box with a engagement ring.
Marry me, Peggy.
Leave me alone, Patrick. It's over.
If you are giving somebody no indication whatsoever that you intend to carry on a relationship with them, let alone a marriage proposal and a marriage, and in their mind, they believe strongly enough and convincingly enough that that's their next step, you have to realize I might be in some trouble here.
After Peggy rejects his marriage proposal, Patrick seeks revenge.
Hi. How is everyone?
When Peggy wasn't engaging in anything, including the marriage proposal, Patrick took a picture of Peggy and he made a flyer out of it. He put, "I'm a slut, I'm a whore, I sleep with several men, call me," and he put her cell phone number on it. To make matters worse, he made about 300 copies of that flyer and he put them everywhere throughout the city of Albuquerque, including her nail salon and her yoga studio.
She brought me the flyer. She was just like, oh my God. Now it was like escalating to the point of he was terrorizing her.
In an effort to stop Patrick's increasingly menacing behavior, Peggy appeals to the police for help.
She took the flyer in, had a conversation with an officer about stalking, and he said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, it's just a piece of paper. Come back to us when something happens."
After the flyer incident, Peggy changes her phone number. Once again, Patrick retaliates.
Mark and Peggy were in Florida for my brother's wedding. The evening after my brother's wedding, Mark got that call from his neighbor.
Here, I'll get the car. Hello? Wait, what? No, I'm not in Albuquerque right now. Okay, we'll come right home right now.
Who was that?
My house is on fire.
What?
We gotta go.
Mark's house was set on fire. Peggy knew instinctively that this was Patrick.
Mark and Peggy fly back to Albuquerque and head to the police station.
Albuquerque police was treating it as an arson. And Peggy said, "It's arson because it's involved with stalking. This man is stalking me."
It's my ex-boyfriend, Patrick. I'm sure of it.
Well, we have an open investigation, but we would need physical evidence that ties Patrick to the fire. It will take a few weeks at least.
Weeks? And what are we supposed to do until then? He's not gonna stop until he's ruined our lives. I'm scared he's gonna kill me.
There must be something you can do.
I tell you what. Keep a detailed record of everything he's done or is doing. Let's see if we can make a case on stalking. Then and only then can I do anything.
It's okay. We'll work on it together.
Peggy had been very honest and very upfront with Mark about having a stalker. And Mark said, "I'm in it for the long haul." I don't think that he knew how bad it was going to get. I don't think either of them knew how bad it was going to get.
With Mark's help, Peggy spends countless hours building her case against Patrick.
That's when Peggy began to keep every piece of evidence. She had been keeping all her cell phone records, from that point on. She kept a copy of the flyer. She kept pieces from the arson investigation.
Okay, this is a completely separate report. That you've got the arson.
The phone records and the arson report right here.
The jealousy, the following, the obsession, these aren't idle threats, and they shouldn't be seen that way. You don't have to read between the lines, just read the lines, and it would have told you this woman was in danger.
Armed with the evidence to back up her claims, Peggy files stalking charges against Patrick. Police arrest Patrick, but after he makes bail, Peggy decides that as long as Patrick remains a free man, she must take action to protect herself.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you all for a wonderful class. Just a quick announcement. Just wanted to let you know that today will be my last class, and Jasmine from the Friday class will be taking over my morning classes.
Wait, where are you going?
It's just time for me to move on for a bit, explore new horizons.
She was awaiting trial that was to happen in September, but they kept pushing it back. And so at this point, Peggy and Mark decided, let's get her out of Albuquerque because Patrick won't be able to find her.
So, you never did give me that chance to take you out.
You're a sweet guy, James. You're gonna make some woman very happy someday.
Where are you going?
It's a secret.
Well, I can keep a secret.
Bet you can.
Look, I've been coming to your class for 3 years now. You can tell me where you're going.
A small town in California, but that's all you get.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. And, maybe our paths will cross again.
It seemed to me that she made the assessment that she wasn't going to get protection from her police, so she fled. That act in itself was evidence, how she felt about how much danger she and Mark both were in.
With Mark's support, Peggy relocates almost 1,000 miles away to Turlock, California, and moves into a small, undisclosed apartment by herself.
Mark helped her get a job as a pharmaceutical sales rep. She just basically covered her tracks as well as she could, so no one would find her.
But as Peggy waits for her trial to begin, the fear of Patrick is never far from her mind.
I think up to that point, she'd done everything she was supposed to do. She filed the restraining order. She got out of Albuquerque. She got away from him. But Patrick was always kind of looming. Like, there was always kind of this dark cloud. In the back of her mind, she felt like somehow he's gonna find her. Somehow he's not gonna stop.
"31-year-old Peggy Klinke moves from New Mexico to California to escape her stalker ex-boyfriend Patrick Kennedy, but he continues to haunt her.
Hey,
Hey, everything okay?
I think I'm going crazy. It feels like every car is following me.
At this point in Peggy's life, we're going on 11 months of being a stalking victim.
Peggy, you just need to relax and breathe, okay?
No one knows where you are.
Maybe you could find a place to do some yoga again.
I'll try to do that after work. Thank you.
The stalking trial, which was originally to happen in September, was moved to October and now is moved to mid to late January. I could see this was wearing her down. She was in fear every moment of every day.
And one day, Peggy's worst fears come true.
He was persistent and he found her. He did it with a private investigator, which also says how determined he was.
You think you can leave me?
He decided to attack, and there was no one there to protect her.
As Peggy fights for her life, a neighbor pays her a visit.
He found me. What's going on? My ex, he's gonna kill me. No, no, no. Come to my house. Come to my house. Go. The closet.
From there, Peggy had bought some time. She was able to call 911.
911 emergency. I have a stalker and he's here to kill me. He's already picked me up and take me. He's in my house. 1410, number 118 is what he does. Who's there? Patrick Kennedy. He's beating me up with a gun. He's trying to break it now. Does he have a gun right now? He already beat my head. If you don't get her, he's going to kill both of us. Okay, we're on the way, ma'am. Now.
He's in the house. He's gonna kill us. Please get here. Please.
You need to leave now. Now! Hang that up.
Please. Stop it. Female. Please stop it. I think he's going to kill me. Is he, ma'am?
At this point, the SWAT team arrives, and there's an officer standing outside of the door.
Patrick Kennedy, come out with your hands up.
He's trying to talk to Patrick. Patrick won't engage.
No! Oh. Oh.
Peggy, can you hear me?
Please don't come in. He's got a gun. He'll kill me if you try.
At this point, I think Peggy surrenders. She's very calm.
Officer, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Officer, can you do 3 things for me?
We're going to get you out of there, Peggy. Just hold on.
Can you please tell my mother that I love her? Can you please tell my nieces that they're gonna have a guardian angel in heaven? Can you tell my sister Debbie to name her baby after me?
Stay with me, Peggy.
Patrick shot Peggy in the head, and then he shot himself in the head.
exhibited she was in fear. She had the evidence of the stalking case. I don't know what else she could have done other than what she had done. And with all that, the law still failed her.
We did not get the news in Ohio until Saturday evening. My mom and I were sitting in the living room watching TV, and the doorbell rang. What I saw at the front door was 2 police officers. And at the first sight of those officers, I knew my sister was dead. I wasn't surprised that this is how the road ended for her, since nobody would do anything to protect her.
Debbie called me, and it's like I knew as soon as she said, "This is Peggy's sister." I knew something had happened. And I just remember like screaming and crying. It's like, why kill her? But I think even in the end, he thought she belonged to him. And if he couldn't have her, no one could.
In the wake of her sister's senseless murder, Debbie honors Peggy by channeling her grief into action and awareness.
I began traveling with the Stalking Resource Center and telling Peggy's story at law enforcement and criminal justice trainings. I now work with college campuses where we see a huge, huge population of stalking victims. It's a very painful story to tell, but I know in the 16 years that I've been telling it that it has made a huge difference in many lives. There were so many things that I want Peggy remembered for. I think the most beautiful part about this story is that Patrick tried to do away with her to get her to shut up. And more people know Peggy now than they ever did before. Her beautiful spirit and her legacy will continue to live on.